I made my first $1 million in the industry that I knew nothing about in 2008. 2007, 2008, I made my first $1 million. And it was in fashion. I was an aspiring, up and coming music artist at the time, but I also was following in the footsteps of people like, I was fans of like Carl Kanai and Fubu, and the things that Jay Z was doing was with Rockaware, Sean John, all these different brands that were doing great things. Fat Form for Russell Simmons, and I wanted to do my version of that as well because I was inspired by that. Even Percy Miller, Master P, when it comes to fashion, sneakers, and just expanding your portfolio in regards to not just being an artist and being boxed in. The thing about that is that it happened so organically. I had no structure. I had no plan. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't know even what to do with the money other than spend it. I didn't have the emotional intelligence to look in my bank account and see $1 million plus in my bank account. I immediately stopped pushing the clothing line. I didn't care about it and just went on a spending binge of the money. And I'm sure we've all heard those stories of people getting money and then blowing the money or losing the money and something like that happened. I did the exact same thing. But the difference is that I wanted to figure out how to get it back, first of all, maybe doing something different, but also how to hold on to it, how to protect it, and ultimately, how do I grow, the money that I receive. And one of the things I realized, and it was reiterated in someone I just most recently started following last year by the name of Myron Golden. And he talks about creativity, right? And one of the things that has helped me propel and make the next million and the next million is, first of all, the ability to communicate effectively, right? Also finding the right customers. The thing about Myron Golden, he makes a really great point. I could have 400 followers or 30 subscribers, but if they are the right subscribers and if they're the right followers, they can help me build my company off of the service and value that I'm adding to them. And in exchange for that, they're giving me monies for it. So I created $100,000 offer. The thing about it is, I've never created $100,000 offer. And that notion and that thought process is the reason why a lot of people don't create $100,000 offers. Before I finish the story, I wear a hat all the time if you see me out and about. It's just a normal old beat up dad hat. But what's on it is what's most important. It reads, pay me $1 million. Pay me $1 million. I don't know why someone is going to pay me $1 million, but I'm manifesting that into the universe to where someone asks me what the price is, I'm going to tell them to pay me $1 million. And I want to be able to tell a million or 100 million people to pay me $1 million for whatever it is that I have access to and created and built that's going to be of service, fill a void, or just deemed valuable to a bunch of people. So he was very instrumental in reiterating something that I had already been practicing. But more importantly, now I am very intentional about it when I'm sharing it with other people as well and just bringing everyone into the forefront. So learning communication changed my life, learning sales, and just eliminating the psychology part. So you got to do a lot of self personal work. If you're struggling, if you have abilities and when you look in the mirror that you look like you're supposed to be successful, but there's something internally that's stopping you. Sometimes that's fear. You care what people are going to think about you in this new season in your life. Sometimes it's procrastination, or you've had moderate success, but then self sabotage happens or imposter syndrome happens. Well, this is the thing. You are not by yourself. Some of the most successful people that exist today, at some point while on their journey, have likely experienced, not likely, I've talked to them, they have experienced the same type of situations that you may be experiencing right now. So when it comes down to understanding what's going to make you successful, it's getting out of your own way. And so I just wanted to be a lightning rod of positive life force and frameworks of information that people could digest easily and use it instantly. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I believe that it is our duty to mind our program. And what I mean by that is we all have a set of morals, values, upbringings, cultures, how we were raised. And sometimes we get stuck in a rut because of those things, because sometimes the old teachings or the old program, it doesn't fit in today's society when it comes to what's needed, what's necessary, and what's required. If you're playing by an old program, you may be the person that when you first saw one of my books and it said use everybody, it went to your emotions, your feelings versus your logic, critical thinking, and then doing a deeper dive in reading and understanding what it was about. I created a book called Use Everybody and also Use Everybody Again. It's a independent bestseller, over 700,000 independent copies sold. The reason why it was a great success, first of all, because I don't force feed, I don't force sell, but I also go and find my right customers and I speak to their desires and I speak to their the stories that they tell about themselves, because the stories I tell are likely similar stories that they have experienced in life also. So I've taken a negative program, a negative concept, a negative word, so-called negative word, and that I feel like was miscategorized, and I repositioned it and recategorized it as a positive life force and you in the framework. So when I'm out talking, it elaborates on what the book is truly about. Use is a community. Unlocking your story. Can you specifically talk about who you are? What is your purpose in life? What is your product? What is your company? What problem you solve? What service do you provide? What void do you feel? What is your impact and what are your intentions moving forward through this life? S, shifting your mindset. We talked about programs. That's very important when we're talking about perspective, when we're talking about mindset, when we're talking about discipline, we're talking about focus, when we're talking about addressing the elephant in the room, which is your invisible barrier of fear. And understanding finally in 2026 that fear is not real. I have three sons and a beautiful daughter. She's 3 months, but my sons are a little older. And I'm always pouring into them all the time. And one of the most amazing things in life is when all the work, all the teachings, all the guiding that you've put into these little people, you start to see it manifest in the real world. And those types of transformations are happening in the youth community. And so I definitely want you to at least join our use community. And the way that you do that is simply by downloading Use Everybody or downloading Use Everybody Again, and you are in with our family. So back to my story, I always talk about mindset with my kids. We say five things every single day. Well, I start out probably like 3 minutes before we're at their school. I say, tell me five things that you know about yourself. And they all scream in unison, I'm smart, I'm loved, I'm special, I'm strong, and I'm powerful. And I say, do you believe that? They say, yes. I say, can anyone tell you differently about yourself? And they say, no. I get chills every time I hear that, and just to see them walk in life. And I seen them, one of my sons have like a little brief issue, but I seen him stand tall. And and it was almost as if he was really acting professional, and he did it so well in regards to his behavior. The other kid was like, you know what, maybe I am acting silly. Let me get myself together and stop, being a knucklehead, right? And so that's the part about shifting that mindset, is shifting that program. So S is shifting your mindset. The E is for execution. Guys, listen, you can unlock your story all day. You can shift your mindset all day. But if you're not executing, then it's all for naught. I follow a lot of people during certain phases and seasons in my life. Perfect example, someone like Gary Vaynerchuk. I follow Gary Vaynerchuk on many occasions, but people that I admire, people that I'm able to extract things from, I don't follow all the time. Two reasons why I don't. If they've built a personal brand talking about specific things that inspire me, I don't have to follow them for a period of time to know that they're going to talk about very similar things. I would believe that I'm doing them more of a service, that now I'm freely talking about them and promoting them. But at the same time, I don't want to lean on them for motivation. I want to take the goodness and the evergreen content that they shared, and I want to go and start executing it and testing it and failing fast and failing forward in the real world, so I can start scratching and clawing for the results that I want and desire for my life, for my mission, for my purpose. And that's the thing about it. I will follow someone I like for 3 months to 6 months. After that, I won't follow you for 2 years because I'm taking what you professed, I'm taking what you said, and I'm putting it to work. And that's what I want everyone to do. The Use Everybody book, the first one is a great guide. The second one is an amazing extension after 2 years of writing the second one that's giving people so much value and context. The audio book is available as well. But just think about this. There is there are so many people, especially adults, right, that do not believe in continuous learning. It's no different than when computers came, or the laptops came after that, or remember they had the big phones, and then they got the cell phones, and it was still clunky, but now we have these thin little phones that we have now. Evolution is happening. The ones that are going to succeed in this bold new digital world that we're living in are the ones who acknowledge and understand that. Elon Musk was saying that over the next 5 years, this is the window. Over the next 5 years, this is the window. You're going to have a one person $1 billion companies. You're going to have people that never coded before, ever, that never programmed before, that are creating great projects that people are gravitating towards. You're going to have people doing so much. I guess the last example is that don't allow the world to tell you no in this digital age of information and having a can do attitude. No one should be able to stop your can do attitude. 2.5 years ago, I wanted to get into, because I was on the news a lot. I was guest featuring, talk about different top subjects and topics. And I said, you know what? I want to see if I can get hired as a news anchor and deliver the news, or as a consistent guest, right? Maybe at that capacity, not like the news anchor. I know you got to work for that, right? But I wasn't getting the feedback or the um, the results that I was looking for. And so, what did I do? I was grateful and thankful that I had those connections to be able to offer myself up for an opportunity. But at the same time, I have a freaking phone. I got an iPhone, I have a laptop. If I want to deliver the news, no one can stop me. You have YouTube, you have social media. So, if it's about creating the news, major, go create the news. Some people, if you look at a dual interaction with that, they're sad, they're in the corner, they're bitter, they're mad, they're on social media, they're ranting. I just dug deeper into the solution part of it and then started executing. Fast forward, Marietta TV is a thing. I deliver the local news every single Monday, and advertisers are coming on board. The community love it, the city loves it, and now it's growing into this thing. But that all came from perspective and having the focus and just having the ability and having the audacity to believe that I can exist and I can do this. And so, if you can take anything away from this conversation, take this away: the use concept, unlock, shift, and execute. But don't let anyone take away your can't do attitude. And always, guys, stay major-rated. Thank you for joining for another major-rated conversation. Stay tuned for more. Make sure to subscribe. Go to majorwilliams.com, see all the great resources we have. But more importantly, go and download your copy of Use Everybody right now. And the audiobook is available as well. Peace.